There are two moments in every visit that quietly eat a provider's day. Before the patient walks in, someone has to prep the chart, pull the history, remember what was pending, figure out what this visit is even about. And after the patient leaves, someone has to write it all up: the note, the plan, the follow-up. Both take time, both happen for every single patient, and both get rushed when the schedule is full. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to build a workflow that preps the chart the night before and drafts the visit note right after, while a clinician still reviews and signs everything that matters. AI does the prep and the paperwork. The clinician owns the chart. Let's name the cost, because this is the work that follows a provider home. Think about the shape of a single visit. Before it, the chart needs prep. What's this patient here for? What happened last time? What was ordered and never came back? What's overdue? If nobody does that ahead of time, the provider does it live, in the room while the patient waits. And after the visit, there's the note. The subjective, the objective, the assessment, the plan, written up, ideally the same day, ideally before the details fade. Multiply that by a full schedule, and you get the thing every clinician knows: the charting that piles up, the notes finished at 9 at night, the burnout that has a paperwork problem hiding underneath it. But look at the pattern. Pre-visit prep pulls from data you already have. Post-visit notes follow the same structure every time. The same 4 sections, the same shape. Known inputs, a predictable format, the same steps for every patient. That's not work a clinician should be doing by hand twice for every patient, every day. That's work a machine can draft, as long as a person still reviews and signs what the machine produces. Let's be precise about what we're building, because AI for notes covers a lot of ground. This is 2 small assistants that share one rule: they draft, a clinician signs. The first runs before the visit. Every evening, it looks at tomorrow's schedule, pulls each patient's record, and drafts a 1-page pre-visit summary. Why they're coming in, the history that matters, the medications, and anything worth a second look. It also runs a plain check for care gaps, labs that were ordered and never came back, something overdue. And if it finds one, it flags a clinician before the visit. The second runs after the visit. The provider's rough notes go in, a structured SOAP draft comes back: subjective, objective, assessment, plan, and it's routed to the clinician to approve or send back. Nothing is final until a human signs it. And here's the honest part, worth saying out loud. You may have heard of ambient scribes, apps that listen to the visit and generate the note. Those are genuinely useful, and they do a real job well, the post-visit note. But a scribe only works after the visit. It doesn't prep the chart before it. That pre-visit half is the part no scribe touches, and it's the bigger piece of what we're building here. They're not really rivals. If you already love your scribe for notes, keep it, and let this handle the prep. And for the note itself, this gives you a lighter option that drafts from what your provider already types. No extra microphone in the room. Part of what I'll leave you with is a plain comparison so you can see where each one fits. Let's build it. Same setup as the other videos on this channel. N8N for the workflow, mock data only, no real patient information anywhere in this demo. If you're brand new to N8N, there's a full setup walkthrough linked in the description. Start there, then come back. The first section preps tomorrow's charts, and it runs on a schedule, every evening the night before. It reads tomorrow's appointments, then pulls each of those patients' records: the intake, the history, the last visit's note. A code step joins it all together into one tidy packet per patient. And right here, before any AI touches it, the workflow runs a care gap check. Watch 3 patients. Avery Holt is clean, nothing outstanding, she's marked ready for her visit. Priya Shah, clean as well. Now Marcus Reed. His last note says labs were ordered and are still not on file, and the workflow catches it. This check is deliberately not the AI's job. It's a plain list of terms you write and can see sitting right in the workflow, so you know exactly what it looks for and can tune it to your practice. Marcus gets flagged. Everyone else moves straight on to their summary. Section 2 turns each packet into provider-ready prep. This is where the before the visit scramble disappears. Take Avery. This node reads her record and drafts a structured summary. the chief concern, a one-line orientation, the clinical highlights worth noting, and a couple of things worth focusing on in the room. And it's instructed to stick to what's actually in her chart. It doesn't invent history that isn't there. What comes back is a clean, provider-ready row a clinician can skim in 15 seconds before walking in, instead of reading the whole chart cold. Every patient gets one. Avery and Priya land as ready for the visit. Now Marcus, the one we flagged. He gets the same clean summary, but because of that care gap, the workflow does one more thing. It emails a clinician before the visit, "This patient has an outstanding item. Ordered labs that aren't on file. Please review before you see him." Notice what that email does not do. It doesn't decide anything clinical. It doesn't chase the labs itself. It just makes sure a human sees the gap while there's still time to act on it. His row is marked "needs review" instead of "ready," so nothing about the gap is hidden. The AI drafts the prep. A simple, reviewable rule decides when to raise a hand. The clinician decides what to do. Section 3 is the other half of the day, after the visit. This is the note. The visit's over. The provider jots a few rough lines. Knee pain, 2 weeks, exam findings, a plan. Those raw notes come in, and this note drafts them into a proper structured note. The subjective, what the patient reported, the objective, the exam findings, the assessment, and the plan. Same instruction as before. It only uses what the provider actually wrote. It doesn't add a finding that wasn't there. Messy shorthand in, a clean soap draft out. But watch what happens next, because this is the whole point of the video. The draft does not get saved. It gets sent to the clinician with 2 buttons, approve or decline. The workflow literally stops and waits for a person. If the clinician approves, the note is written to the record marked signed with their sign-off on it. If they send it back, it's logged as needs revision and nothing gets filed. In this run, our clinician reviews Priya's draft, and either path is 1 click. Nothing becomes a signed note without a human saying so. That pause, that single click, is what makes this safe to put in a real practice. The AI writes the draft, the clinician signs the chart. Let's close the loop on the thing that matters most, because this touches the chart directly. The whole design keeps a person in the loop where it counts. Notice what the AI never does. It never files a note on its own. The post-visit draft waits for a clinician to approve it, and only then is it marked signed. It never invents a finding the provider didn't write, and it never decides what a care gap means. It surfaces the gap and routes it to a human. All it does is prepare and draft. A clinician reviews and signs. That sign-off step isn't a formality. It's the reason you can put this in a real practice. This is also where ambient scribes come back. A scribe records the room and generates the note after the visit. The pre-visit prep here is a job no scribe does at all, so the two can sit side by side. Keep your scribe for notes if you like it, and let this handle the prep. And for the note itself, this is the lighter option. It drafts from what your provider already types, with a sign-off in front of it and no extra microphone in the room. The comparison guide I'm leaving you walks through exactly where each one fits, and one honest note on data. This demo runs entirely on mock records, so there's no protected health information in it. A real chart workflow touches the most sensitive data a practice holds, so a live deployment needs the compliant path. The right hosting, a signed business associate agreement, the whole setup. That's the part most practices get wrong, and it's exactly the part we handle for you. I've packaged this whole workflow as a free download. The importable N8N file and the ready-to-use chart sheet with all 4 tabs set up, plus a chart prep checklist and a plain ambient scribe versus lighter workflow comparison. So you can decide what your practice actually needs. The link's in the description. Grab it and you've got the skeleton of your own chart prep and visit note assistant. If you'd rather have it built and wired into your real schedule and your team's inbox instead of assembling it yourself, you can book a working session on that same page. Either way, subscribe. I break down one of these practice automations in every video. And if you'd rather build on a platform that's HIPAA compliant out of the box, I use Karagon. Link in the description. Quick disclosure, they're an affiliate partner, so that link supports the channel. See you in the next one.